Alright, so to start with, what you need is going to be a TIG welder machine, which this is a multi-process machine. It does plastic cutting, blah, 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 blah. So we'll get into how to use this machine, but this is a TIG welding machine. That is not the torch. Where's the torch at? Oh, right here. So this is your TIG torch here. So you got your cups here. Like I said, I'm not an expert, so it's just going to be more like just showing you guys like what I do the TIG welding, how to TIG weld. So I'll give what the best explanation I can give you. These cups are pretty much, they basically protect the weld, protect the tungsten in the weld from oxygen. So gas flows through that tip, flows right through here into here, and just basically just throws this oxygen, throws gas all around, the weld area, and this tungsten to protect this from oxidizing and the weld from oxidizing, so it's getting dirty. So without that gas, this will not work. Other than that, over here we got ourselves our oxygen tank. We got ourselves an argon tank, so we're using argon gas. You can, I believe, you can use CO2 or things like that. I think TIG welding you have to use argon. I've only used argon, so I believe you have to use argon. It's just because it needs to be a clean weld, it just needs to be clean. MIG welding, you get away with some dirty metal, but you won't get the best weld still, but you'll get a good weld. TIG welding, you need things clean, you need things very nice and tidy and everything. So, I gotta hook this up to our machine here, just an air dryer. You don't need that part, but that machine came with it, so I use it. I need to hook up to there, and that'd be all good there. Grinders, of course, because we got cut metal, which we will be cutting this piece of metal here to show you guys some welding on it. And, one of the most important things is your gloves. Now, these are TIG welding gloves, very flexible, very comfortable. One thing about TIG welding is you need to make sure you're comfortable holding the torch and your sticks, your rods. So that's another thing you're gonna need. But these are nice safety ones. They don't let your hands burn. Those are 40 bucks for those, and there are cheaper ones. I just got those because I like the way it looks and they look comfortable. Got some TIG rod. We'll probably be using the thinner ones. We'll be using, what is this? 3/8. I'm assuming 3/8, right? No, 332. So we'll be using 332 thin rod. I don't think we're gonna need anything bigger than that, which the other one should be 3/8. We got 3/8 and 1/8. What is it? 3/8. What's this one? An 1/8? This might be this might be an 1/8 actually. Yeah, this is an 1/8. So 1/8 and 3/38 or whatever the hell it is. Whatever I just said before. So we're using a smaller one. But other than that, I think we're gonna get to weld. We're gonna get the metal cut up and cleaned up, and we're gonna try some welding now. Alright, so I got nice cleaned up metal. This looks shiny. This is nice and shiny now. So what we're gonna do some practice things. We're gonna go just take the TIG torch and just literally heat up and make a line. Then we'll do a line with the rod. Then we'll do a nice little simple 90-degree weld right here, just to make a nice little weld to come through here with a thick piece of metal and a thin piece of metal, which is a little tricky, but it's actually a good practice way of like seeing how different heats, how you got kind of like pass through this quick, heat up here more, kind of like, we'll get into that more later. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys the parts of a torch. So I'm deassembling this right now. So this is where your tungsten kind of like sits in, kind of, if you kind of think of it like that. This is kind of where your gas gets introduced to your torch here, and then your tungsten goes in between here. This is where your tungsten gets, it's like kind of like, I think it was like a clamp kind of for the tungsten. Tungsten slides through here. Get in there. There you go. Gets in there. When you tighten it down, you see there's little grooves in that, and basically if these get all pushed in, and squeezes this. So they slide in, squeeze it, it doesn't move anymore. So it's kind of the idea of that. So the way you assemble these torches is take this guy here, put this in first, and you screw it in. If I can get it in there. Jesus Christ, come on. So pop it in. Once again, not an expert, guys. Just making a good, cool, trying a cool video, fun video. Next, you got this little, like I said, your tungsten size. Now there is sizes. I don't know what size my tungsten is. I should be truthful with you guys, but there is sizes that you should do. We got tungsten here, which actually we gotta sharpen this up. I'll just show you guys. Actually, I'm not gonna do it like that. So then you gotta take this guy, screw it behind here. Now this is how you will tighten your tungsten. Actually, you put your tungsten through here. Actually, hold on, I forget the part. Your cup, Now there's cup sizes that actually will tell you different things, different like situations, but I'm not gonna go through that this video. This is just how to TIG weld, you know, basic TIG welding and everything like that. So, you know, this is kind of, I use a number 6 cup for mostly everything I've been doing, and that's just because that's what I have, and kind of just stick with it. But then your tungsten does go right through here. But before I do this, I'm gonna show you guys how to sharpen this. Now, do your own research in this department of what angle you want to use for your tungsten. Now, I use a very sharp angle because I like a very nice fine point, a very fine point arc going into my metal. Now, you can use a blunt edge, which is like mostly like a 45 degree, then you got like 15 degrees, and you got all these different ones. Now, I use like a 20 degree probably, I'll say. So, the way I sharpen up my things here, I have a stone here. Now, you're really supposed to have like an individual thing not used for anything else, which I only use this wheel really for this actually, but so you really should have your own dedicated tungsten actually grinder. But I go like this, and I just rotate it little by little. You want to be as even as possible. You know, you don't want to make it like on one side, like, you know, not centered. Alright, so there's my point. Now that's a nice sharp point. Now you can do a sharper point. This is probably about like a 30 degree angle. My guess. It's a guess. But that looks good to me. Nice and sharp. Now you can do a blunt edge, and like I said, there's other videos out there that show you the different arcs that you get from different angles. I'm just gonna go through most basic just to get you going. So going back to our torch here, so you gotta take your tungsten, put it on through right through here, slides in. Oh, you went a little too far. So stick with like a 1/4 of an inch out. Now listen, sometimes on right angles, you really gotta stick this out like probably like that, depending on what angle you're doing. But try not to go past 1/2 an inch. Try to stay like a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 an inch out. Now I'm probably gonna leave it just like that. Probably about like close to 1/2 an inch. Actually, no, yeah, 1/2 an inch. Yeah, about 1/2 an inch. About 1/2 an inch. Yeah, about 1/2 an inch right there. So that's what I'm gonna leave it at. Now, we're gonna go over to the machine real quick. Ugh. Now I see I got it all plugged in. I have it all shifted around. I have different plugs for this though. So we got our hose right here. Plug it into this right here. Shove it in. I do have clamps around here, right here. Bring the clamps right on around, and you know you're just gonna tighten this up. You don't have to do it tightly. It's not that much pressure. Just tighten it up enough just to avoid it to come off, because they will come off sometimes. There's no pressure to push it off, but a little bit of tightness. All right, with that tightened up, now I'm gonna open this up. Now you see there's a bowl there that went up. Now that's your flow to your gas. Now you open this all the way up. Now we have about, I don't know how you really read this, but I think it's like millipascals or something like that. But we have about 12 millipascals, whatever it is, gauge. So we got pretty good on gas. Now this guy will go up as soon as you release the gas. So we're actually get the machine on now, because it'll be easier that way. Oh, where's the power button? Power button over here is on here, isn't it? Right here. So she's on now. We got a welding helmet. You also need this. Don't forget that. Most important part. All right, we're not gonna do stick welding. Not any type of MIG welding, not cutting, some TIG. So I see our ball here is floating. You want that to be, so if you're in a windy environment, you want that to be pretty high up. Or if you're doing like a very oxidizable metal, like kind of like, what's that called? Stainless steel, titanium, things like that, you do want a higher gas flow just to keep it. Also, to cool it. The gas cools your tungsten and also protects your tungsten in your weld. So there's many different purposes to your gas. But, okay. So I have mine set about like 20. So I see I'm gonna hit the gas. I'm gonna hit the gas right here. Well, no, I'm gonna hit the trigger. We're at about 20. Oh shit. We're at about 20. So I'm gonna just tighten that up a hair. So, all right. So I put it at about 15. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. All right, as you see right here, I'm gonna lower it to 15 right there. So as you tighten it, it'll go lower. As you loosen it, it goes up higher. Self-explanatory on that part. It's just a valve. It's just a valve. All right. So I want you guys to be able to see me weld. So we're gonna try to put some goggles on you guys. So right now you can't see anything, but when I weld, you should be able to see something when I start welding. So we're gonna set you guys up here. Hopefully you guys will be able to see some good ass welding this time around, not just some big shiny bright thing. You guys should be able to see the pool and what's happening behind the scenes of the big bright light you see on a lot of videos, probably a lot of my videos. So I'll show you guys more of the amperage settings in a little bit, but for right now I'm going to show you guys just how the whole TIG welding thing kind of works a little bit here. So that's what we're going to do. Gotta get a couple with one hand. I'm not really used to this torch, but oh. So we're gonna go around this one more time and show you guys so I can talk you guys through. So you want the tungsten to go as close to the mill as possible without touching it. So you're gonna, get the arc going, however the machine works. Get as close as possible without touching the metal. And you're just gonna move back and forth slightly. Just make a puddle, get a feel for the metal, just let the puddle form, and just keep moving forward with it. Now let the gas run a little bit, and there you go, and pull away. So that's what it looks like after you do a pass like that. So I'm gonna pick this up. Is it hot right here? No. So that's what it looks like. Should look like. You should get a nice straight line, and I'll just show you without no power or anything going on. So you're gonna go as close to metal as possible, like this. Start your arc, however your machine works. If it's scratch start, tap it, scratch it, and get it going, or hit the button and let it arc. And you're just gonna go like this. You just go straight through, but you should kind of get used to just moving it back and forth, or go like that, depending on how you want to TIG weld. So I like going like side to side because you kind of get the feels for like how the puddle moves. And like I said, you want to go as close as possible without touching the metal itself. If you touch the metal, you gotta regrind your tungsten every time you touch that metal. So you don't want to touch it. You want to just go through nice and easy. If you ever see sparks, that usually means it's dirty metal or your tungsten's really dirty. One or the other. So now we're gonna introduce some rod. So I'm gonna put your goggles back on, guys, let you guys see this. So what you're gonna do with your rod, if I can get it in my hands. Oh, god damn. Okay. We're gonna do your rod here. You're actually gonna do exactly what you were practicing before, but you're gonna heat up the metal. Once you get a puddle formed, dab, move forward, puddle form, dab, move forward, dab, move forward. You want your torch to be angled not only like this, you want like nice, like I think it's like a 40-degree angle to where you want to just go forward slightly, but not like to where you're not straight like this, but you're not too like this. Kind of like nice between, I'm gonna say like 40-degree angle. I'd probably say that's probably like a fair 45 to like 35-degree angle, and I think that's like fair. But I think 40 is like probably your happy area. And you just want to move that, dab, move it, dab, move it, dab, move it, dab. And that's how you want to do that. So let's get to work on that. Let's see how that goes. So get the puddle started. Dab it in the front. Move forward. Dab it. Move forward. Dab it. Move forward. So you should get something just like this. You should get a nice little, nice bead pattern, nice dabs. Like I said, I'm not an expert at it, so I'm definitely not. I could probably make this a little colder, so I probably could go 90 amps and probably work out probably a little bit cleaner and probably be a bigger, be a nicer weld look. But that is actually almost like a perfect, nice penetrating weld that you can never go wrong with at all. So, and to choose your amperage, you just play around with it. Thick metal like this, you want to go around 100 amps. Probably like maybe 120, depending if you're trying to weld two of these together, try to get the heat distributed the way it is, but it's really going to be a feel on how you know, when you get your machine, play with the amperage. You're not going to hurt it by going too hot or too cold. You probably mess the metal up, but that's part of learning welding is messing up. So it's the only way you're going to learn, mess it up, figure it out, you know. The next step is going to be actually welding this to this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack weld it. I let you guys probably, I'm not going to put the goggles on. I'm just going to let you guys see the raw form of this. Alright, that's tack weld there. And then I'm going to tack weld it on the other end here. Alright, so we are tack welded on both sides here. Then right now we're going to try to do a nice little weld straight down the side of this center here. So I'm going to try to set up like this. I think I'll probably get a better weld if I can get it set up like that a little bit. You know, hopefully you can. I hope you can. I'm gonna get myself uncomfortable to make you guys be able to see this nicely. So put the camera right there. Now we're gonna do this raw version because I don't know if the other way's gonna come out good. If I edit this video and it looks good, we're gonna do the cover version more often. But we're gonna play around with the video editing and everything like that. Just like this now. Let's get it to here. Wow, that is a bright ass weld. Nice penetrating weld, especially. But only got halfway there. I messed up because I kept hitting the one thing and it just kept getting in my way, and it just did not work out so well. But we're gonna keep going through. Hopefully we can keep going and not mess up. Alright guys, so it's the next day. I got caught up with a couple other things I had to do last night and I couldn't finish up the video, but we finished up welding. I saw one last, so it's kind of a perfect example of why I dipped my tungsten when I was doing it over here. I dipped it right at the end and it got dirty. Now, if you saw welding up this part here before, it started getting a little sparky, all weird, and I see there's like this nasty looking yellow stuff, when that yellow stuff is basically a dirty weld. So one or two things: one, you don't have enough gas flow; two, your tungsten is really dirty and you gotta regrind it on your machine there. on your grinder machine. So those are the two things that are going to tell you if your tungsten's dirty or not enough gas. Which you'll know if you dip your tungsten instantly. Once you dip your tungsten, you should go regrind. You should go regrind it. But this kind of thing will give you guys a perfect example of, like, you know, what it kind of looked like. It was all sparky, that. So yeah. But other than that, here's our welds right here. We got some nice welds going through if you're traveling this way. Now, I might could use a little bit more heat, or I was kind of very uncomfortable because the helmet kept hitting the camera, and it was kind of like I couldn't get as close. Couldn't get as close as I wanted to be able to watch the puddle. So I see there's some mess ups here. So I didn't realize I didn't get all the way to the end. I got the one hole there. Over here, I kind of got used to it, and I was able to get more comfortable, as you can see. My hands started burning when I got to this point, so I had to stop welding. I stopped welding probably like 1 to 2 times right here. But other than that, it came out pretty good. I did lower the temperature right here by like 10 amps. So you kind of say it's slightly differently. This is more flatter looking. This gets a little more bumpier. So I probably should have just left it alone, and it looks pretty good. And like I said, here's the other two guys. Here's our guys without any rod. Here's one with the rod. And that's our full-on rod and full-on welding 2-piece melt together. So I hope the video can help you guys out with learning some TIG welding. I just want to throw a video out. So kind of just trying to get some videos posted out. I'm not really a how-to person, so I kind of do better how-to videos on working on cars that do like kind of welding, because welding's not my cup of tea. But I want to get a video out and I want to get something laid out. For me, I think that's like a really good basic kind of thing. It's like, you know, it have to be like be a total professional, but I can at least say, hey, this is what I do, this is kind of what you can do. Just jump into it. You're not gonna hurt anything. Just give it a shot, and everything will work out in the end with it. So that's one thing I always say. Hey, 20s. What are you doing, baby girl? Come and hang out for a little bit? I gotta clean up here. Edit video, and then we gotta go to work. Okay, girl? But yeah, so listen, I gotta go to work, so other than that, listen, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it helped you out a little bit. Hope you learned a little welding. If you want to see more welding videos, comment down below if you want to see welded. We're gonna do some aluminum welding in a little bit. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like down below. Subscribe to the channel. Do your 6 follow dreams. Do learning anyway. I'll see you guys next one.